How is everyone? Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, hopefully it works now. Yes? Okay, perfect. Cool. Well, then let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be the June Discord monthly update. This is actually an AI generated image, and I do love it. So, I've been having a really fun time vibe designing, as I call it. That's been really great. Okay, so quick agenda. We're going to give a quick update on the Ledger campaign effort that we've had. I'm going to give a quick update on the privacy salon that Michelle is running. I'm going to give a quick easy KYC demo and also explain what it is and why I'm excited about it. And then also a quick update on CoinStore and Mexi. Okay, so Ledger campaign. We ran this Ledger campaign. We partnered with Ledger, so this is like Ledger official Twitter account reposted this campaign, which is awesome. And for us, this was like really important because uh, our Ledger integration was probably one of the more heavier technical challenges that we faced. We're the first actual privacy like wallet to be on Ledger, and we're by far the first multi-sig private a wallet on Ledger as well. Just to kind of give you some perspective, like Zcash, for instance, doesn't even have like a multi-wallet, like a private multi-wallet to begin with, let alone Ledger integration. So that was like a really big technical feat for us. So we did partner with them, and we wanted to give away ledgers for logistical purposes. We limited that to US people, and then if you are outside the United States, we would just kind of give you a monetary award. And so I want to showcase some of the memes that people have posted because some of them were quite good. This is not all of them. We had 25 winners. That would be way too much to go through. So if you don't see your meme here, it's not because I didn't like it. It's because we just had so many. So some of them I just liked for the visual aspect of it. This one was pretty good. Privacy and security, the ultimate power couple. Not your keys, not your coins, is always a pretty strong message. Love privacy and crypto. Keep it secure, keep it private. That's always great. And then this one's great. I'm really glad that all of the submitters are Discord people that I'm seeing again and again. And so all these people, like, firstly, thank you for being such great contributors and such strong community members. And I'm so happy to honor you guys either with physical ledgers or the monetary reward if you're not in the US. But yeah, this was from Shagamuffin, who I see on Discord all the time. Great submission. Privacy and security, the ultimate power couple. Nelly, who I've also seen on Discord many, many times for years. Not your keys, not your coins. Thank you so much for your submission. Love privacy and crypto. Keep it secure, keep it private. Always a great message. And then this one was great. I love privacy and crypto because it makes me feel safety and more equal. We could save, hold, send, or receive anything without other people's permission. That is correct. This one, even though it's an AI generated image, it's done very well. So good job, whoever prompted that to existence. I joined crypto because of decentralization. That's why privacy and security is my priority. If you have to KYC, it's not crypto spirit. Privacy is protect and save. And I love this message because we are going to tackle the that message of KYC and how KYC can be private in the next section. So this is great. This is by Morty. Again, Morty has been on our Discord for years and years. And so really awesome to see him participate in this campaign. And he submitted a very lengthy, it's not quite a meme, it's actually, and I had to cut it off. It's like a very, very lengthy piece about what privacy means to him and how Ironfish is at the center of that. So thank you so much for having such a long write-up. This one also, Monivong, again, he's like, oh, you're here actually in the Discord. Amazing. Hi. Thank you for your submission. This one made me laugh. Your online life is like your bedroom, intimate, personal, and deserving of privacy. Oh my God. Just as you lock your door to keep others out, you should prioritize social security to safeguard your heart, wow, your data, your relationships, and your cryptos. Totally agree. This one's also great. Online privacy is like a unicorn. Everyone talks about it, but no one has actually seen it. It's pretty funny. This one is also by a long-standing community member who was also a moderator for us for some time. Privacy is when she doesn't know how much money you have. Pretty funny. Okay, cool. So that was it for the Ledger campaign submissions. Again, thank you so much for everyone who participated. Really glad to honor some of the long-standing community members with a prize. And we'll see if there's something that we can send even to people who are outside the United States. Maybe not for this campaign, but maybe for a different one. Again, thank you so much for participating, and so happy to see these long-standing community members. Cool. So the other thing that we did is Michelle Sun has taken kind of an initiative here to do more partnerships across other privacy protocols within the Web3 ecosystem. And Zcash actually has a number of groups that are like Zcash affiliated. And so we've been talking to one of them, but also she submitted to the official kind of like the Zcash grant to host these privacy salons. And so we're going through that process right now. But yeah, we've kind of had back channel with some of the folks at Zcash, and excited to potentially make this work. Okay, easy KYC demo. So I do want to talk about this. So privacy is important in more than just payments. And early on, we did have to conduct a KYC for the airdrop. And it's been more than 2 years and people are still unhappy about it. And they remember the time that, we did the KYC, and they really conflate that, because we did KYC for the airdrop, somehow that means Ironfish is not private. Obviously, that's not true. We had to do a KYC because we're a US company and we had to guarantee that we're not distributing funds to sanctioned individuals. And we launched right after Tornado Cash got sanctioned, and so for that was extremely important. But this topic has been coming up again and again and again of if you do KYC for something, then it means a person has to give up their data, and that's not true. So I'm super excited to demo this project that we had a person join. He wishes to be anonymous, which is awesome, and he's a developer. And this was actually his first project since joining the foundation. It's not a fully launched project yet, so I'm going to demo it to you, but it's not fully polished. The designs may not be fully there, etc. But I'm so excited to at least give you a glimpse of what he's been working on, because I think it's a really powerful idea. Okay, so cool. Hopefully, okay, great. It's showing my screen. Okay, so the idea is we're gonna be leveraging something called Self. So if you guys are familiar, Self is actually a ZK passport project. So what that means is you can download an app on your phone, and you can tap your passport on your phone. Most new passports have what's called a biometric chip in them, which means that there's a chip that your government has literally signed, and you can check the integrity of that signature and of your passport completely in zero knowledge, meaning that a person can do attestations against their passport without ever revealing their data. So what I mean by that is a person can say, hey, I have a valid passport that proves I'm not a NOFAC sanctioned individual, but you don't need to know anything else. You don't need to see my passport. You don't need to see my selfie. You don't need to see my ID or details about myself, etc., which is super powerful. But self.xyz is the kind of in case you guys are interested, this is the website, self.xyz. And again, this is how the app looks like. It's done fully in zero knowledge. Part of the guy was saying, use the passport chip to validate myself for a travel doc. Such app was easy. Exactly. So we're seeing this actually come up not just in crypto, but literally at the airport. I had to do this as well, where you just have to tap your passport every time you kind of scan this. It actually is doing the exact same thing. It's validating that the signatures on your passport are valid. The only thing that Self is doing is actually validating all of those steps in zero knowledge. But Self XYZ by itself is like not exactly a product, and so we were really brainstorming of like, okay, well, we want to give out grants. For instance, I see Dave is in the audience, and I feel so bad because we've been procrastinating on giving that grant that we promised. And the reason for that is because I want Dave to be the first person that we give a grant through, or give a grant to by using this product called Easy KYC, so that Dave doesn't have to give us his personal information in order for us to give him a grant. We just need to know that he's not in the OFAC sanctions list, and then we can, go ahead and do it. So yeah, the reason why I like this is because it actually creates a flow. So here's me, I'm logged in. I literally have a minor grant program as like, the KYC verification flow that I've created. So I can, oh, okay, this one's not active. Okay, so I actually need to create a new flow, sorry. So here's how if this is a company view, so for instance, like we're trying to make sure that foundations like ourselves are able to give grants and do the whole KYC process without basically forcing their grantees to dox themselves. So for instance, yeah, so if I were to do like, grant project demo, and let's, and we can do either an IRN address or an EVM address. Let's say like we give people, a week or so to do this. And a user actually will see what is it that we want from them. So for instance, we want their name and nationality, which is, like, yes, a person would have to give up that, but that's not so bad. We'll require that a person is 18, and we'll make sure that they can prove to us that they're not on the OFAC sanctions list. And so that's actually it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one because that one's expired. So grant project demo. So I can copy this. And ready to verify. So I'm going to start my KYC verification process. I'm going to continue with the wallet. Okay, just kidding. I'm gonna sign in with. I don't think I'm gonna. Okay, 1 second. I don't remember my password. Oh my gosh. One moment. Oh no, I need to. Okay, sorry. I need to log out and log into somebody else so I can actually show you how this looks like. Okay, let me log in with a different email. Great. So now I can copy this again. Okay, so here I can enter my name. Looks like I don't have to do this. And I will have to provide an EVM address, which I will in just a second. Okay, so now what you don't see, and I'll kind of tell you the stuff that's happening, is I'm actually using my Self app. So I've previously scanned my wallet and read the RFID chip in my passport. And so now I can use the Self app. And so the Self app is literally telling me that Easy KYC wants to know my name, my nationality, etc. So now, great, and I've approved it. There you go. And so from the other perspective of like, well, what does the company see that is requesting this? Let's refresh. Yeah, so view address details. So now we literally see that this blockchain address is approved, and literally we don't need to see anything else. So like all we see is that it's been submitted. There's the verification ID, which is basically something called a nullifier from Self. So from a technical perspective, it actually works fairly similar to pretty much any privacy protocol. It literally has a Merkle tree of all the people that have previously, verified with their passport, and it's literally doing a zero knowledge proof saying a person is within a set of passports that are legit, but literally doesn't show you anything else. So now, literally, Dave can literally see what we see if he's going to go through this flow. So we don't see Dave's passport, we don't see literally anything that he doesn't let us see. And we have enough confidence that Dave is definitely not on the OFAC sanctions list, and can go ahead and give him the grant. So this is, how is this related to Ironfish? Well, our kind of mission is to increase privacy in Web3. And we've literally been kind of like on the other side of, like, we needed to KYC all the people that we wanted to give the airdrop to. And so we were kind of in this weird spot of like going through probably the most invasive, from a privacy perspective process, because we were forced to due to regulation, because things like ZK Passport were not available when we did the airdrop. And now that they are, we're really excited to build a product around it so that it makes it much easier for foundations like ours, or pretty much anyone out there, to do a really easy KYC process. And there's also a cost component to this. So when we did the KYC for the airdrop, we probably spent more than $200,000. I'm not even joking, on these KYCs, because it's roughly, depending on what you negotiate, it's like $1.60 to $5 per KYC. And if you have Sybils who, request a KYC multiple times, then you're actually burning that cost. Plus, it was much more difficult to do like the engineering effort to actually do the flow. And yeah, there's like very real dollars attached to KYCing your customers or your grantees. And so again, I'm really excited to tackle this. KYC has been the most controversial thing for Ironfish for like a very long time, or at least one of the most controversial. And so I'm kind of really happy to double down on this concept of KYC, and bring something new to the table. Cool. So that's the easy KYC demo. Again, it's not fully launched. We're currently, from a technical perspective, it's actually like the entire flow is complete. We're working on things like the website repolish, launch plan, trying to find launch partners, etc. But from like a flow perspective, it's pretty much there. So very excited for this. Cool. And then, I see product guide typing, but I'm just gonna go ahead. Oh, yeah, thank you so much. This is definitely a huge improvement in KYC. And also, Self is a really amazing team to work with. We've literally just talked to them on, we have a Telegram channel with the founding team basically, and they've been extremely helpful. And we know that they have a lot of more features coming up. Like for instance, right now they only validate passports. Not everybody has a passport, obviously. And so they're actually expanding their support to IDs. There are certain IDs that also have that chip that I mentioned. Not everyone, unfortunately. But I think the next ones that they're going to be tackling is the European ID card. There are several states in the United States that also have the chip in the driver's license. I think the Japanese ID is another one that actually also has a chip as well. And I think they mentioned a few others. So they are actually expanding support to not just passports, because not everyone has passports. The question was, I wonder if the US Real ID has chips. I don't remember, but yeah, they mentioned that certain states have it, so I'm not sure what the distinction is. But yeah, I'm happy to follow up on that. Okay, the Coinstore Mexi update. So Mexi, just again as an FYI, they did have an operational issue with their node. They kind of came to us and they were like, "Oh, what's happening with Ironfish? Like, is it down?" And no, their node was just down. And they panicked and they temporarily closed withdrawals. We helped them, so we worked with their team directly. We worked with their engineers. We resolved their issue, and everything is back to operational. So, in case anyone noticed that, that's kind of the backstory of what happened. And then for Coinstore, I am fully aware that they've been promising to launch Ironfish since, I don't know, a few months ago. So they're definitely very much behind. And I have heard or have seen grumbles in the Discord channel of like, oh, what's happening with that? Are they dropping us, etc. They are not. They are just very slow. So we're trying to help their team. And yeah, have been a lot of questions. Are there any plans on listing Iron on Coinbase? Not at this time, but Wrapped Iron is on Aerodrome, and Wrapped Iron is in the ERC20 coin, and it's much easier to work with. So, for instance, BingX has actually is supporting W Iron because it's so much easier to work with. And yeah, I mean, like it is on Aerodrome, it is on Base. And there are many more wallets in the wallet updates that are coming from Coinbase. They're going to make it a lot easier to trade on Aerodrome. So on one hand, no, but on the other hand, we do have Wrapped Iron on Base. Has the team talked about getting Iron wallets on Exodus? Is Exodus a hardware wallet? I feel like I remember this. Okay, Real ID does not have a chip. Okay, they did mention that certain states did have a chip, so I wonder what that was. Gotcha. I see. Yeah, we can look into it. I mean, we're not going to support Trezor anytime soon, just because Ledger was such a huge engineering lift. And I don't think we need to prioritize doing another hardware wallet at this time. But yeah, and if they support Ledger, then we can certainly look into it. Cool. And I think that's pretty much it, which is great. We're very much on time. Gonna wait for some of the questions to come. How's the partnership evolving with Base? I mean, again, we are an aerodrome. You know, we don't have any new initiatives for them to really amplify. But yeah, if there are direct asks that we have for them, we'll definitely ask them. We can ask for them to promote the Easy KYC. I'm not sure if that's 100% Base because Easy KYC is not exclusive to Base. But yeah, we can certainly ask. Waiting for more questions to come in. To create demand for Ironfish. I mean, like, I'm actually pretty excited about the Easy KYC product because it's solving a very specific need. On the Ironfish side, we are still pretty heads down on private USDC. I still think that is one of the most strongest use cases, is to solve private USDC in a way that makes sense. Yeah. And then what is the change in? Oh, this is the question from Product Guy. With the change in administration, will the foundation be putting more effort on marketing now that it is safer? That is a great question. So there is another project that I mentioned last time that is still more in stealth. And I think like throughout the history of Ironfish, there's like two things that like really like that either we were not strong at or we were hindered by various reasons. One of them was the KYC thing, and the other one was definitely marketing. And there is another stealth project that we're doing that is actually all about marketing. And hopefully we have something to show you on the next monthly Discord pulse. So if you remember Daniel, he's full-time at the foundation working with Michelle's son on this project. And they are very much cracking down of like, okay, how does marketing work in crypto? How do we succeed at marketing crypto, and how do we really crack that? Is KuCoin back? No, unfortunately, KuCoin is not back. Maybe we can talk to them now that we have Wrapped Iron. That's actually a pretty good point. That maybe potentially we can convince them to do that. But yes, KuCoin was scared off at the fact that we were a privacy coin. But that's actually a great question. I think now that we have Wrapped Iron, which is an ERC20 coin on Base, potentially we can work with them now. Crypto Girl said, agree, but it doesn't matter when nobody knows about Ironfish. That is true. That is a very true criticism. And yes, that is something that we literally have an entire product line that we're working on specifically for marketing, because I acknowledge that is a very true statement. Trade Ogre. So I'm not sure if we are on Trade Ogre or not. The really strange thing is that Trade Ogre had Iron. They never contacted us. They never. It was actually impressive because like obviously Coinstar is like struggling to, to like integrate Ironfish because it is a full privacy layer one, and so there are more complicated steps. And I believe that Trade Ogre was one of those exchanges that never even contacted us, implemented Ironfish, which again is actually very impressive from like a technical perspective, and then delisted us potentially, and then put us back on. Like it's a very confusing story. So I have no idea like what Trade Ogre is doing. Again, they've never contacted us at all. So yeah, I'm not sure. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much, and thank you for making the new time work. And yeah, hopefully you guys have an awesome Tuesday. And we have someone who is now going to be doing the video editing for all of these videos. Uh, Krypton's Key, and she's actually in the audience right now. So hopefully we can get these videos out faster because I'm definitely not good at posting them on time. So, um, oh, there's another question coming. Oh, okay, I'll wait. Well, that's a good question. So, a list of app ideas that anyone from the foundation is circulating to attract third-party devs. Honestly, we're kind of doing more of a sniper mission. So we have these two ideas, which is to tackle KYC in a way that's privacy preserving, and the other one is the marketing angle, because quite frankly, like that's like to me, it's personally like this fascinating problem that we've never fully cracked. And so like tackling that at full force is like very tempting for me. And so we actually just hired people who I think are really great at both of those things. So one of them is obviously Easy KYC was like the product from one of those efforts. And again, it's not fully finished, it's not polished yet, etc. But it's good enough to demo people to people. And then for the other one, Daniel, who's an amazing engineer, and Michelle Sun, who has been really strategic about thinking for like go-to-market strategies in general. They're taking lead on the other project. So instead of like, I think we're kind of doing the reverse approach of like thinking of an idea and just like using our network to really like grab the best people that we think are going to be good for that idea. Build on privacy is pretty good too. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Oh, one more person typing. Oh, not typing. Okay. Awesome. Um, well, thank you all so much. We're actively following up with everybody on the Ledger campaign results. So stay tuned for that. And again, thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. And hopefully I'll see you all on the next monthly Discord pulse. Okay, there's one more person typing. I'll wait for that. Oh, okay. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Bye, everyone.